Okay, so now let's take a look at problem 2. So problem 2 is a word problem, and it says Roberta and John Sells would like to be able to buy a home in 4 years. What amount must they invest today at 6% interest compounded monthly in order to have $20,000 for a down payment 4 years from now? Okay, so for us, let's identify these variables, right? So R again is just the interest rate, which is 6%, but in decimal form that would be 0.06. And then N is how it's being compounded. Right, so here it is compounded monthly, and there's 12 months in a year, so N is 12. And then the time is the total time for the loan, so that's, or the investment, so that's 4 years. Okay, so now now what are we calculating? Right, so here it doesn't specifically state in the problem, but in the question here it says what amount must they invest today. And so here, because we're trying to figure out the investment for today, we're calculating the present value for a single investment using the chapter 11 formula. Okay, so the formula again is this one. So we're calculating present value, but from chapter 11, and the formula was the future value divided by so parentheses 1 plus r over n, then the exponent is n times t. Okay, so that's the formula. So what is the future value? So they're trying to save up $20,000 in the future, so that's the future value. And then in the denominator we just plug in all the variables. Okay, so now let's calculate this. And again, you can calculate it in 2 ways. So if you want to calculate it step by step, just a little bit at a time, you want to start here in this parentheses here, right? So 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12. So that's the calculation inside this parentheses. And then this part here is an exponent. So we raise it to the power, and then the exponent is 12 times 4. So that would be the calculating the whole denominator here. And then, so that's the denominator. And so the numerator is 20,000. And we want to divide it by our previous calculation. So we use the previous answer, right? So you press second and then answer here. Right, so it's 20,000 divided by the calculation from the previous step here, and we get 15,741 and 97 cents. Okay, so that's the present value, and just like before, if you want, you can also enter the calculation all at once. Just be careful you enter it essentially the way it's written, right? So you start with the 20,000, and then the fraction means dividing, and then here make sure all the parentheses are in the right place. So you have parentheses 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12, close parentheses, right? So that's here, and then here's the exponent, and then parentheses 12 times 4, close parentheses, and then check to make sure everything looks correct. And then we calculate it, and you can see again we get the same answer as before. Okay, so that's the answer for problem 2.